of the time that Ahmaud Arbery was running in Satilla Shores.
Here we go, y'all. We in court. Ahmaud Arbery, man. Rest in peace. Killed by these three dudes running down the street, minding his business. They're waiting on the sentencing, man. He said he giving them a minute to reflect the time of him running. What's good, everybody coming in? We're watching the sentencing live for Ahmaud Arbery, man. It's something serious to talk about, especially with the conversation of racism and everything we had last night, man. Condolences to the family of Ahmaud Arbery. This was somebody's son, all them type of things, somebody's grandson, friend, all that.
That's approximately a minute. Again, the chase that occurred in Satilla Shores occurred over about a 5-minute period. And when I thought about this, I thought from a lot of different angles, and I kept coming back to the terror that must have been in the mind of the young man running through Satilla Shores. The jury heard the evidence and returned a verdict. And what a difficult job they had under the circumstances. Without any comment on the verdict itself, I think all counsel will agree and accept that this was a very difficult case to even get a jury impaneled on. And there are issues out there with regard to the jury that were brought up in the press and elsewhere. But I want to give credit to those members of the panel, not because of their verdict, just because of the fact that they were willing to go through the process that they went through with the state, with the defense, and with this court. We're here today to sentence the defendants. In discharging the duty, this court is required to consider all mitigating and aggravating circumstances. The court has considered those circumstances, including but not limited to all aspects of the crimes charged, the past criminal record or lack thereof of the defendants. I've also considered any lawful evidence which tends to show the motive of the defendants, their lack of remorse, their general moral character, and any predisposition to commit other crimes. Here we go.
Let's see what happened, y'all.
In this case, the record speaks for itself. And the defendant's own words, I think, guide this court with regard to sentencing. Went back through my notes and other resources to pull some of the quotes that we have in this case. I'll start with Greg McMichael. In my opinion, Greg McMichael, very early on in this, tried to establish a narrative. He made comments like, Ahmaud Arbery was trapped like a rat. Stop or I'll blow your, and I won't repeat it again, head off. He effectively admitted that he wasn't sure what Ahmaud Arbery had done wrong. Quote, I don't think the guy has actually stolen anything out there, or if he did, it was early in the process. But he keeps going back over and over again into this damn house. Again, back to the narrative. Told Travis, you have no choice. Told another individual at the side or at the scene, this guy ain't no shuffler. This guy's an asshole. Commented that he wanted him, Ahmaud Arbery, to know that we weren't playing. If I could have gotten a shot at the guy, I would have shot him.
See what I'm saying?
Travis McMichael claims he was in shock. But it's interesting because he talks about his concern for his child and his own well-being. Part of this was while the victim was actually laying there in the street. Commented, this is the worst day of my life. Well, I think it's been touched on here today. There were other individuals that were impacted. I'll look at the video of this incident. When I say the video, I think everybody knows what we're talking about, but there was one part of it that struck me as absolutely chilling. And that is, I believe it's in the enhanced video provided by the GBI. There's a frame where I believe Ahmaud Arbery, it looks to be, if he's 20 yards out, that may be close, 30 yards out. And it's the frame of Travis McMichael lifting the shotgun to fire at Ahmaud Arbery. And you watch that with context. And when I say context, after hearing the evidence in this case, again, thinking about a young man that had been running at that point for almost 5 minutes, and it is a chilling, truly disturbing scene. And we got there because Travis McMichael's father saw Ahmaud Arbery hauling down the street and calls out, "Let's go." At that point, Travis McMichael, despite whatever may have been going on in his life at that time, with regard to family or otherwise, just goes, grabs a shotgun and goes because he assumes that it is the right thing to do. Ahmaud Arbery was then hunted down and shot. And he was killed because individuals here in this courtroom took the law into their own hands. Mr. Bryan, he joined in after calling out to the McMichaels. Y'all got him? Claimed he didn't know what was going on, but obviously wanted to know if this individual who was running through the neighborhood, who he didn't know, had been caught in some way. Said, quote, "I figured he'd done something wrong, but I didn't know for sure." Or it wasn't actually this quote. Those quotes are two separate quotes. Didn't know for sure. "I thought he would get away." And this is the part that is disturbing to me with Roddy Bryan. If the guy would have stopped, this would have never happened.
If he would have stopped, this would have never happened.
All of these quotes give context, I think, to the video that we saw during the case.
I'm going to pause for a second, y'all, just so they don't shut it down, just in case. I'm going to pause for just a second, and then I'm going to put it back live. I'm pausing for just a second. They're about to read the sentencing on the Ahmaud Arbery case, man. Shot and killed in the Georgia neighborhood and everything like that. I'm going to play it again just a second. I just want to pause so they don't knock the stream off, but here we go, man.
Statements, and you see the videos, is very true. And that is, she's multiple prosecutions against them to make statements of remorse. But remorse isn't something that is simply a statement of regret. Remorse, I think, can be determined by looking at somebody's reaction to
Damn, y'all can't even hear me, huh? Fuck.
The reality of the situation that they're in. Again, it doesn't require an apology, and quite honestly, sometimes apologies are made simply to get past.
Damn, y'all couldn't even hear me, man. My bad. Y'all couldn't even hear me.
And demonstrated.
My mic wasn't hooked up.
In this case,
why y'all ain't tell me y'all could?
Getting back to
the y'all could hear me still?
Again, after Ahmaud Arbery fell.
Y'all heard me the whole time?
Turned their backs.
Or y'all can hear me now? Did y'all hear me the whole time?
It's again a disturbing image, and they walked away.
Oh,
This
okay.
was a killing. It was callous, and it occurred. As far as the court is,
I put my mic on
the evidence because confrontation.
But y'all was hearing me with the mic off. I wonder why.
I think the statement was made during closing arguments. It's interesting to note that the most violent crime in Satilla Shores was the murder of Ahmaud Arbery. So sentencing does not generally provide closure. I think Ms. Wanda Cooper-Jones also talked about closure, but I don't find that it really does. And I think that's an unfortunate thing.
Appreciate y'all, man.
In this case,
keeping me updated. Rest in peace to Ahmaud Arbery. For the people that's just coming in, this is the sentencing to the three murderers, killers of Ahmaud Arbery who have been found guilty.
It's seen differently by all, depending on
this is a modern day lynching
and the prism of your lives. Instead of closure, maybe we best see today's proceeding as an exercise in accountability. We are all accountable for our own actions. Sometimes in today's day and age, that statement is lost upon many. And today the defendants are being held accountable for their actions here in Superior Court. Today demonstrates that everybody is accountable to the rule of law. Taking the law into your own hands is a dangerous endeavor. I'm not sure how this comes across. I'll say it anyway. I think ultimately, with regard to the murder of Ahmaud Arbery, it holds us all accountable. I've read somewhere, and I don't remember where it was, that at a minimum, Ahmaud Arbery's death should force us to consider expanding our definition of what a neighbor may be and how we treat them.
We'll get a little feedback after. If anybody wants to join in after, we'll do a little bit of feedback. If anybody want to come in and speak their piece for a few minutes.
I also believe that in assuming the worst in others, we show our worst character. Assuming the best in others is always the best course of action. And maybe those are the grand lessons from this case. I will let others spend as much time as they want writing about it and talking about it. But those are my general thoughts with regard to this case and sentencing. That said, with regard to the sentence in this case, as to Travis McMichael, Mr. McMichael, the court sentences you as follows. Count 1, malice murder, life without the possibility of parole. Count 2, felony murder, is vacated by operation of law. Count 3, felony murder, vacated by operation of law. Count 4, felony murder, vacated by operation of law. Count 5, felony murder, vacated by operation of law. Count 6, aggravated assault, merges into count 1. Count 7, aggravated assault. Court sentences the defendant to 20 years consecutive to count 1. Count 8, false imprisonment, merges into count 1. Count 9, attempted false imprisonment, 5 years concurrent to count 7. That is life plus 20.
Life plus 20.
The court sentences you as follows. Count 1, malice murder, defendant was found not guilty. Count 2, felony murder, life without the possibility of parole. Count 3, felony murder, vacated. When I say vacated, it's vacated by operation of law in all cases. I'm not going to repeat it. Count 4, vacated. Count 5, vacated. Count 6 merges into count 2. Count 7, aggravated assault, 20 years consecutive to count 2. Count 8, 10 years concurrent to count 7. Count 9, 5 years concurrent to count 7. That is life plus 20 years.
Life plus 20.
Brian, I do want to separate a little bit because the state is making a different recommendation. And despite the back and forth that Mr. Goff and I had during this case, I do want to point out a couple things that he raised that I think are appropriate to raise with regard to the sentence. As far as the remorse, I think Roddy Bryan stands in very different shoes. It is obvious from the beginning that he questioned the tragedy that had occurred at the scene and was on, I believe, I can't remember whose body cam, but the body cam, in fact, questioning whether or not what had occurred, and then took steps early on in this process, I think, that demonstrated that he had grave concerns that what had occurred should not have occurred. And I think that does make Mr. Bryan's situation a little bit different. However, Mr. Bryan has been convicted of felony murder. And I do not believe it can be disputed based on the facts of this case that the verdict was an appropriate verdict based upon the evidence presented, at least. And when I say appropriate, what I mean is legal. Because I believe there's been some discussion about some differences between Mr. Bryan and the McMichaels.
They was trying to separate him from them like he didn't have the same
for the fact
hand in
that Mr. Bryan used his vehicle in a way to impede Mr. Arbery's course of travel. This may not have ever occurred, and that is sufficient for felony murder. He did cooperate with law enforcement. I will point out Mr. Goff 1710-1B. There's actually a case out of Chatham County that says it would not apply under the circumstances of this case. So the court recognizing that Mr. Bryan's position is different. Again, Mr. Bryan was found not guilty on count 1 and count 2. Court sentences Mr. Bryan to life with the possibility of parole on count 3. Count 4 is vacated. Count 5 is vacated. Count 6, the defendant was found not guilty. Count 7 merges into count 3. The defendant is sentenced to 10 years consecutive to count 3 on count 8 and 5 years concurrent with count 8. Both of those counts, though, will be suspended sentences, which gives Mr. Bryan a life with the possibility of parole sentence. Those are the sentences. The court having pronounced sentence, first with regard to Travis McMichael. Mr. McMichael, you are hereby notified that under the law of Georgia, you are entitled to appeal the guilty verdict of the jury, and if you decide to do so, you must file your appeal within 30 days of this date. You are also informed that you have the right to retain a lawyer of your own choice to represent you on your post-trial motions and appeals to the appropriate appellate court of Georgia. If you cannot afford a lawyer, the court will appoint one for you. You are entitled to and will be given a transcript of all pretrial, trial, and post-trial matters without cost to you if you cannot afford a transcript. You may file a motion for a new trial, or you may appeal your case directly to the appropriate appellate court of Georgia for review. You are also advised that the statute of limitations for habeas corpus in this state is 4 years in the case of felonies and 1 year in the case of misdemeanors. The statute begins to run from the date the conviction becomes final. And just to be clear on the record, I'm going to go through the statement with regard to each defendant. So as to Gregory McMichael, you are hereby notified that under the law of Georgia, you are entitled to appeal the guilty verdict of the jury. And if you decide to do so, you must file your appeal within 30 days at this date. You are also informed that you have the right to retain a lawyer of your own choice to represent you on your post-trial motions and appeals to the appropriate appellate court of Georgia. If you cannot afford a lawyer, the court will appoint one for you. You are entitled to and will be given a transcript of all pretrial, trial, and post-trial matters without cost to you if you cannot afford a transcript. You may file a motion for a new trial, or you may appeal your case directly to the appropriate appellate court of Georgia. You are also advised that the statute of limitations for habeas corpus in this state is 4 years in the case of felonies and 1 year in the case of misdemeanors. The statute begins to run from the date the conviction becomes final. And then finally, Mr. Bryan, you are hereby notified that under the law of Georgia, you are entitled to appeal the guilty verdict of the jury. And if you decide to do so, you must file your appeal within 30 days of this date. You are also informed that you have the right to retain a lawyer of your own choice to represent you on your post-trial motions and appeals to the appropriate appellate court of Georgia. If you cannot afford a lawyer, the court will appoint one for you. You are entitled to and will be given a transcript of all pretrial, trial, and post-trial matters without cost to you if you cannot afford a transcript. You may file a motion for a new trial, or you may appeal your case directly to the appropriate appellate court of Georgia for review. You're also advised that the statute of limitations for habeas corpus in this state is 4 years in the case of felonies and 1 year in the case of misdemeanors. The statute begins to run from the date the conviction becomes final. Don't have a blue or black pen. Is there a blue or black pen down there? Thank you. The court has executed the statement of appeal for Travis McMichael, Greg McMichael, and William R. Bryan. If I could please have counsel and the defendants execute the statements of appeal to confirm they've been given, or the notices been given.
Rest in peace, Ahmaud Arbery, man. Rest in peace to Ahmaud Arbery. Do anybody want to come in and speak? We all know what they getting right now. I guess we can wait to see when they get walked out the courtroom, see what their energy like. And I'm going to let some people come in here and speak. Shout out to everybody that just came in. Rest in peace to Ahmaud Arbery. If you want to come in and speak, you can. Let's get it. Anybody that want to come in and speak?
Anything further from the state?
Yes, Your Honor. The state would ask for a condition imposed along with the sentence, and that is this, that the defendants are not allowed to make any money off of their actions, such as a book deal, a movie deal, social media deal, or anything along any way, shape, or form, make any money off of this experience, this
Ooh,
conviction,
she hit him where it
this
hurt.
trial. And that should any money be made, that it go into a fund for the Arbery family. And I've had this condition imposed before, and given the nature of this case, we just seek to make sure
Ooh,
that, based on their actions, having
she
been
talking that
found guilty of
shit.
murder, that they do not then reap some sort of profit or benefit off of their actions via such remuneration to or from anyone in the form of, like I said, book deals, movie deals, consulting fees, or telling their story to someone in exchange for money.
There's a statute on this, but maybe I'm wrong.
It's not a SAM statute in other states. I'm not aware of Georgia's, but there is. I assume.
Yeah.
Cite it.
Well, yeah, let's do this. Submit something more formal to the court. I'll go ahead and take a look at it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Ooh, she went for the gusto. Hey, no bullshit. They all got life. One of them is the driver is eligible for parole after a certain amount of time.
Be in a situation where he couldn't do that inadvertently because of the sentencing condition.
Yeah, no, I understand the request, but
All right, the attorneys and the judge are talking about whether these convicted murderers should benefit in any way financially from sharing their story, and we'll let you know what the judge says on that. But today, we now know the sentencing for the three men convicted in the killing of Ahmaud Arbery. Travis McMichael, the man who pulled the trigger, 35 years old, is sentenced to life without the possibility of parole. His father, Gregory McMichael, is also sentenced to life in prison without parole. William Roddy Bryan, the man with the cell phone who took the video the world has now seen, who used his truck to block Ahmaud Arbery in the street, the judge saying it was a little different. He said he saw some remorse and concern from William Roddy Bryan. He is giving him the opportunity to have parole, but he is still going to serve a life sentence, which under the state of Georgia is 30 years. The judge giving some very powerful statements leading up to his decision in the sentencing of these three men from the murder that happened in February of 2020. The judge saying that he spent a lot of time thinking about this case and that he thought so much about the terror that must have been in the mind of Ahmaud Arbery in the 5 minutes he was running for his life, the judge's words, as these three men chased him. And a very compelling moment in court when the judge said that he was going to use the words of the defendants themselves to guide his sentencing. And he shared statements that they gave, disparaging statements towards Ahmaud Arbery, threatening statements they made to him that was recorded in the video there on the street, and talked about the moment when Ahmaud Arbery's body fell to the ground and the judge said the men turned their backs and walked away. The judge said, quote, "This
hit him with the gusto.
It was callous."
Hit him with the gusto.
The fact that this.
All right, does anybody want to come in up and talk or speak or anything like that? They cleared out the courtroom. Do anybody want to come up and talk, speak, anything like that? Let me know. Let's get it, man. Let me put Ahmaud Arbery on the screen. I'm finna drop the link if you want to come in. If you haven't been on before, this is Urban Politicians TV. I'm gonna need to see your face in the backstage. You don't have to put your face on camera, but if you never joined before and you want to speak your piece, I'm gonna be on here for a little bit. If anybody wants to come on and speak their piece, no ignorant talk, no racist comments, no disrespectful comments. or anything like that, but you want to speak your piece and everything like that, or you got something to say, come say that. And if you haven't been on before, come on and cut your camera on in the backstage, and then you let me know if you want your shit shown or not. But I just got to see if you're really in the backstage. That's if you haven't been on here before. And we just chopping it up a little bit, man, about the case. Any opinions? They were all found guilty, sentenced to life. 2 are no possibility of parole. 1 does have the possibility of parole. So this is how the game go, bro. They did it to themselves, man. They did it to themselves, man. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter. Y'all did it. Y'all did it. Rest in peace to Ahmaud Arbery, man. Ain't nobody forced you to do that shit. You motherfuckers, boy. Should have knew better. Damn, they trying to put a video on. I'm trying to find a photo of these motherfuckers. Hold on. To sit on the screen. Put Ahmaud Arbery up there, man. I hate when they do that shit. Ugh. Back to safety. Rest in peace to Ahmaud Arbery. Rest in peace to Ahmaud Arbery, man. I just wanted to come tap in on this live with the people. Like I said last night, man, this all tied back into, and I don't want to just know everything is connected to racism, bro. So when you make any type of racist comment, and I'm not gonna tie this to that topic from last night because I don't want the confusion to be brought up. This is the scar that you hit. This is what people feel like. This is a part of African American history. This is something we can't erase. Every time something like this goes on, when you call somebody, if you're not black and you call somebody a nigga and they are offended by it, some people okay with people outside of blacks calling them niggas. You know what I'm saying? You gonna go crazy on them. You gonna trip out on them. You gonna, you know, cause this all is that. And then some people have dealt with racism in their everyday life, discrimination, profiling. So when you say it, it's like, no, because your people move like this. They already did what they did in the past, and now we here. We here. So rest in peace to Ahmaud Arbery, man. First, you know, most definitely, first and foremost. Also, condolences to the family, the kids. If he has kids, I know he was 35, I think they said. The family, that's the most important, man. The family. Yep, we let it get out of hand. We let it get out of hand, man, but we getting that back now. I'm going to be speaking out on this shit. Like one thing about me, bro, you know, this a rap and hip hop platform, but this about my people, bro. And I think people know that I will take time out of my day. This ain't for views. I'm not even finna lead this up, fam. I like creating good content and having good conversations. This ain't gonna go viral. But this about my people. That other shit I've been speaking on the last few days, that ain't even about going viral. Of course, that's a trending topic, so it's a good business decision, but that's about my people. I see people saying and pushing negative things like nigga is just a word. Fam, nigga is just not a word. They saw this man and they saw a nigga. That's why they chased him, ran him down, lynched him, killed him. Didn't give a fuck. This is insanity. No gun, no nothing, fam. I'm gonna be trying to call into them dudes' podcast tonight. I ain't gonna say their name on this and try to make them. I don't know if they're gonna answer. They doing call-ins. I will drop money to call in with them tonight. And I want to see if they'll have the conversation. I want to have that conversation if it's available. I don't want to go in there and talk about the other shit. But when we get to these big platforms, I want to educate people. But, you know, they usually cut shit off when you start doing that. They don't want to have those conversations. They don't want to watch these trials and sit down and listen. Them people that you tell to not say nigga, if you set any of them down right here and told them this is why my people don't want to hear you say nigga, because this is what went on back in the day to niggas. And it's disrespectful for you to use that word if you're not black. They gonna be over there huffing and puffing and trying to make every excuse why this shit don't make no sense to them. They turn it into trendy lingo because we turned it into trendy lingo. But that trendy lingo for us, that's for us. Y'all have what's for y'all. We have what's for us. All we want y'all to do is understand. Just know this is a conversation to be had. People are still getting lynched in America because of the color of their skin. To be clear, the color of their skin, not because of their beliefs, not because of they're a good person or a bad person. They didn't know nothing about this man. They didn't know nothing about this man, fam. Nobody in America is haunted, killed, or shot because of their skin color more than black people. Even us doing black on black crime. We hunt, kill, shoot, beat up each other. But you know why we do that? Because we live around each other. We live around each other. You kill who you live around. White people kill white people because that's who they live around. Mexicans kill Mexicans because that's who they live around. Asians kill Asians more because that's who they live around. You kill who you live around. But guess what? Nobody is killed more than who they don't live around than black people. Nobody is killed more than who they don't live around as black people. Nobody is lynched more in America than the people they don't live around by more than black people. Nobody is hated in America more than black people. Black people hate each other, yes. Black people beef with each other, yes. Nobody else in America is discriminated against as much as black people. This is certified documentation. And if you want to say it ain't going on today, we could go back 56 years ago and have the proof for you. Jim Crow laws were put in place specifically for us. For us, my nigga. Nobody else. For us. So when I say that, I'm teaching. But I'm really not, I'm teaching, I'm not preaching. We understand other races go through struggles. That's a fact. My Asian community, salute. My Hispanic community, salute. My Middle Eastern community, salute. My Central American community, salute. I get you. Nobody in America is discriminated against, hated on, disrespected, disregarded, and targeted by people outside of their race more than black people. Rest in peace to Ahmaud Arbery. Condolences to this man's family, fam. Nobody want to wake up and get this call. It's too motherfucking regular in our community that we got to wake up and get these calls. I'm still tripping off of Trayvon Martin. You know, we them people, we downplay slavery, right? These niggas downplay slavery, right? I ain't gonna drop no names on them. They say slaves didn't do this, slaves should have did this, slaves should have did that, right? Well, them slaves weren't strong enough. They should have fought back. They should have fought back. Meaning, what you're saying is, because let's be clear here, it's against the law at this time to run as a slave. As a slave, it's against the law to run. It's against the rules to run. So that means I would have to break a law. And I know if I run, I could possibly be killed. I'm going to get beaten, but I also know that I could possibly get killed. So I don't want to run. I have to fight it out. I'm obeying the laws of the land and the laws of my master, right? Even though morally I know that I'm not supposed to be here, right? No. We did have ones that did. They disrespect our ancestors. For the people just coming in, all three were found guilty and sentenced to life in prison. All three sentenced to life in prison for the murder of Ahmaud Arbery. One of them, the driver, is eligible for parole probably after, I would say, at least 25 years. So, the people who disrespect our ancestors, right? Y'all don't, they didn't run because they knew they would be beaten. They knew that they would be possibly killed. That's the ultimate punishment right now, right? So they stayed in line and wiggled their way out and figured out how they can handle it the best they could, right? So you people who downplay slavery and say, man, they should have fought back, they should have ran. And this is based off of unity, off of not doing something that's not right. They should have fought back. They should have ran. It's their fault. Instead of saying, hey, man, they solid for going through that, enduring that pain, not committing suicide, staying alive, and don't even know what their fate is going to be every day. They don't know what their fate is. They just know they got to fight. They stood there like soldiers and took it all for us, and then we disrespect them. I said all that to say this. You dumb motherfuckers who shit on our people, you ain't got no heart. Because you talking about what they should have did because they knew it wasn't right. Y'all talking about gangsters need to start shooting other people. Why y'all ain't went shot George Zimmerman? Why y'all ain't went shot the motherfuckers who killed Tamar Rice? Why y'all ain't went killed no cops who y'all know killed black people for no reason? Because you know you're going to go to jail. You know you're going to have punishment. You know the repercussions going to be serious if you do that. Just like they knew the repercussions would be serious, possible death if they ran. Stop disrespecting our motherfucking ancestors, bro. Stop disrespecting our ancestors for fucking clout. If you ain't finna go do nothing to no white person that you know gonna get you killed or locked up, shut the fuck up. And that's for all of them. All of y'all who want to downplay slavery, set your motherfucking ass up because you ain't doing shit but talking for clicks and views. Rest in peace to Ahmaud Arbery, man. All this go hands in hand because it's all based off of skin color. We were slaves because of our skin color. We was killed because of our skin color. Stop the motherfucking disrespect. And when a nigga tell you he not comfortable with you saying nigga around him, this is why. This is why. It ain't about how hard you fight. It ain't about, oh, I fought for this word. It ain't about, oh, I grew up over here. Yeah, that's cool. But if you ain't around the motherfuckers you grew up with, and another motherfucker you don't know asks you not to say that, this is why. This is why. This is why, man. Cut the bullshit. That's all I want to get it understood. Know what's going on with this shit. When you speak, make sure you know what you're speaking on. Think. Can y'all see these three? Y'all see Ahmaud Arbery. This man was minding his business. Minding his business, man. He was minding his business, running down the street, gunned down, killed. Because he got black skin. You can't even help your skin color, fam. Quaterius Lee, you said it best. The fucked up part is the entitlement to saying it, ignoring the history, shaking my head. I think I'm going to leave this live up. I'm going to leave this up because I'm talking from the heart right now. It's up there like that there. Shit crazy. They don't want to have these conversations, though. They don't want to have these conversations. In the Streets TV, hey, I'm going to hit you, my boy. Y'all tap in with In the Streets TV for sure. That's my guy doing this thing. I want to just talk to somebody in the culture about something later. This shit right here ain't about views. This shit about real shit that go on, bro. I broke all this shit down. Like I said, I know that we flawed as black people, man. I know that I'm flawed as a black man, man. I do this shit. I lust. I sleep with women. I fornicate. I get high. I party. I curse. I've disrespected women. I've disrespected my own women. I'm flawed. Very flawed. But one thing I ain't is I'm not hateful. I'm not hateful. I'm not hateful. That's different, man. When you a hateful person, especially on somebody's skin color, you sick, man. Y'all will go gun a nigga down, but you know what's the craziest part about this shit, bro? This shit been going on for so long, bro. This shit been going on for so fucking long, fam. That, man, this is just a normal day, dog, for black people. This is just a normal day. This case, people is going on about their life. People ain't really concerned. People gonna read it, see what they got sentenced. Okay, it ain't finna be no discussions had. It ain't finna be like what we can do to fix this. And it's so crazy, bro, because this could be your son, this could be your brother, this could be your cousin. But see, niggas, we just think it's survival every day. That's our main focus, and it ain't our fault. Our main focus is how we gonna get from one day to the next, whether it be surviving the outside environment, financially, taking care of your kids. You won't be having time to sit down and dwell until it happened to you. You don't have time to really take in what happened, that this man was running down the street, minding his motherfucking business, and they ran him down and killed him like he was a motherfucking deer. And I mean that respectfully. Condolences to the family. I'm just saying, that's how they looked at him. They looked at him like he less of a human. That's what white people call niggas. So when you say nigga, your people, and what that word comes from is my dogs that eat on my porch live better than you, nigga. Nigga means I get to kidnap you. Nigga means I can sell you. Nigga means I can beat you with a motherfucking whip. Nigga means you gonna do any type of labor I want you to do and I don't got to pay you. Nigga means it's shameful for me to be seen with you. That's what a nigger lover is. That's what a night rider is. That's what that term stems from. That porn shit, interracial, and my bad, I'm going into this Ahmaud Arbery condolences, brother. You know why I met with it though. Your family just know why I met with it. Even in the porn industry, when the girls start that are not black, you can't be a black woman and get asked this question. You have to be not black. They ask you, are you down with IR? What is the girls are gonna ask, what does IR mean? Are you down to sleep with black men? This is a fact. We watched this last night. All that term comes from being a nigger lover. That's how the separation of races became. Just like in real life, it's the same in porn. You are only a nigger lover if they black. It's only interracial in porn if you are black. Now, you have interracial dating, yes, but there are no names for it. There are no codes for it. Asian, Chinese, and Mexican dating. Asian woman, Hispanic man dating, there's no word for that. Vice versa, there's no word for that. A white man and an Asian woman and a white man, there's no term for that. There's not a historic term. Arabic and a white person dating, there's no term. There's no history. They don't have a name for them. But when you're dating somebody black, you were called a nigger lover, which now takes us into the time of these other names they calling it. This country is built off of racism. Everything operates off of the color of your skin, even the voting process. The voting process is catered to the black vote. They don't say the white vote. They say the black vote and they say the Latino vote. But you know what vote that they really target the most? And y'all seen it without even seeing it. You know which vote they target the most? Does anybody know? Does anybody know what vote they target the most? Y'all seen it without even seeing it. You got black vote, you've got Latino vote. There's no such thing. They'll show you how many white people voted, but they don't say the white vote. They don't like target the white vote. Who got the most out of the groups? Which one do you see be promoted the most of what they talking about when it comes to the votes? Thank you, Aaron Nelson. The black woman. The black woman. That's the vote they go for the most. Where they go for of course, the minority votes. But after minority, the other first vote they're going to attack is the black women. Y'all want to know why they attack the black women? Y'all know why they attack the black women? Y'all probably don't. And I can't prove this is facts, but I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer. I could be wrong. This ain't the time, Lil Honda. You be here too much, bro. This ain't the time for the trolling, my boy. I know you a troll. You support the platform. You good. Ain't no harm, no foul, but this ain't the time for that. Find another topic. It's all good. You support the platform. I know you probably a little immature, can't read the room. It's all good. You straight. I appreciate your support, but this ain't the time because you are here regularly. They know that the black women want a voice. They're easy to manipulate. Most definitely, Honda Civic. AC, because they always used our women against us. Facts. This is a little bit of a thing, Marcus Whitfield. But most importantly, they got to get them black women. Same thing. Nah, they know our black women will. All of these things are facts. It all falls under. They know that black women want a voice. They know the black women want to be heard. They know a lot of black men really don't believe in the system anyways. They know a lot of black men really ain't vocal. They know a lot of black men, we're not really vocal on politics like that. They know that black men can really give two fucks about the president. But they know that black women kind of pay attention to that shit. And you know what plays a role in the black women paying attention to that shit? Yeah, no, it is a bunch of single moms, but understand, they know that too. I didn't say that wasn't a thing. I said all of these are factors. Everything y'all said is a factor. But at the end of the day, it all falls under, they know that the black women want a voice. They want to be a part of something. They want some type of representation. They know black women will support what they feel they're a part of. That's why they was low-key trying to get Kamala Harris to act like she was part of the black community, damn near. I listen to Tupac. Bitch, no, you don't. You don't listen to Tupac. If you listen to Tupac, you'll forever to be able to name a Tupac song. Bitch, you couldn't name one Tupac song. You couldn't name one Tupac song, bitch. You ought to be fucking ashamed of yourself. Pushing that white poison onto our sisters. You ought to be fucking ashamed of yourself, you stupid bitch. You's a stupid bitch. And you deserve the right to be called a bitch. Black women were the last to be able to allow to vote in America. That been here the longest. You know, all these other ethnicities, they came in, they were able to vote. All these other ethnicities, they were able to come in and get the benefits off of what black people went through in America. Now, what they went through in their country, that ain't what we talking about. We talking about America. A lot of other ethnic groups were able to come in and get the benefits off of what blacks suffered from in America. Voting being one of those. Black women could not vote. They were the last to be able to allow to vote. Black people fully couldn't vote with no stipulations, no type of, black people could vote, but it was certain clauses and rules and factors that allowed you to vote. The law wasn't officially passed for all black people to be able to vote until 1964 or 5 or some shit like that. So that's all I wanted to put out there. That's why they cater to the black women and that election shit. And all that is going back to everything is broken down by race. So after seeing this right here, innocent man running down the street, if you got kids, your kid, this could have been your son, this could have been your brother. Your brother could be coming out the corner store and be in the wrong place at the wrong time about some gung-ho white boys who want to lynch them a nigga that day. And this can happen. More commonly done in the South. Y'all remember what they did in Jasper, Texas, man? Tied that man up by the truck and drug him. Tied him up by chains and drug. Bro, how can you do that to somebody? We get constantly reminded, and then we forget, and then we got to get reminded again. I think, bro, think if we didn't have cell phones and videos and news, bro, these dudes would have walked off and let us believe that nigga was doing something he had no business doing. Do y'all think they was gonna report this crime and get charged without this footage? Actually, these niggas went around the police with covered in blood and shit like that and didn't even get charged. They were gonna be able to walk away from this clean. They was gonna walk away from this shit clean. No cameras, they do walk away clean. But they was going to walk away from this clean right now. Shout out to Jasper, Texas, Coco Strong. I've rolled through there, I think, like one time. Ain't really been out there a lot. Shout out to Jasper, Texas for sure. Shit, homie say, exactly. You know how much shit people got away with back then when tech wouldn't advance. Wasn't advanced. He meant wasn't, but y'all know what I'm saying. The prosecutor was trying to throw it out. Shout out to the this prosecutor who proposed the sequence of them not being able to make any money off of this shit. I'm gonna try to play what she said. Hold on. I'm gonna try to play what she said.
Any way, shape, or form. That condition imposed before, and given the nature of this case, we just seek to make sure that, based on their actions, having been found guilty of murder, that they do not then reap some sort of profit or benefit off of their actions via such remuneration to or from anyone in the form of, like I said, book deals, movie deals, consulting fees, or telling their story to someone in exchange for money.
There's a statute on this, but maybe I'm wrong.
There's not a SAM statute in other states. I'm not aware of Georgia's, if there is.
She went for that gusto.
Well, yeah, let's do this.
She went for that gusto. That's how you do it, though. Fuck that. Y'all ain't finna get paid off this shit, nigga. Y'all finna get paid. Y'all ain't finna get paid for this shit. This is why you don't dislike all white people. This is why I'll never say I have a problem with all white people. It'll always be a divide. It'll always be a little tension. It'll always be all of that. We're going to always have tension between us. It's just what it is, fam. That's how this world is built. It ain't even just an American thing. Racism was going on back before America even became a thing. They used to have slaves back then too, but none of it developed how it did in this American history, fam, where it was set into all the laws and everything and based off of everything to your skin color and stuff like that. And then goes more into the today of time. Everybody got their respect now in countries that are seen as civilized and powerful. Civilized and powerful countries, these people have their respect when it comes to the law, their privileges, their acknowledgement, and all that. Everybody's been somewhat compensated, approached, and acknowledged for what they people have went through. There's something else that went on today. If anybody wants to come in and talk, let me know before I tap out, because I'm going to go ahead and shut this one down. Rest in peace to Ahmaud Arbery. For the people that are just coming in, they were found guilty, all three. One will have the possibility of parole. And if you're looking at this top picture in the top right-hand corner, the one in the middle was the driver. He will have the possibility of parole. These two he has life, the one to the left and the one to the right. I'm looking at the top right-hand corner in the picture. The left guy, life, no parole. Life with the possibility of parole. Well, correction, life plus 10, and I think he got life plus 20, something like that. But they life with no parole. He has the life with the possibility of parole. So yeah, man, I appreciate everybody tapping in. RIP Ahmaud Arbery. I hope nothing I said went over your head. Probably be back on here tonight. I'm gonna try to go get me a haircut and shit. And probably be back on here tonight, popping shit again. We on all the bullshit, man. We got more shit coming, more videos, more all that, man. 1,000. Stay on your pivot for shit show. Stay blessed, man. Be safe out here. Get your information up. You know, ain't nothing wrong with learning. Ain't nothing wrong with being cool. Ain't nothing wrong with being black. Ain't nothing wrong with being whatever race you are. Be proud of what you was born as. Just don't implement hate on nobody. Don't hate on nobody. And especially don't hate on somebody because of their skin color. We do understand people have differences. Business is business at times, depending on your situation. But don't hate on people simply because they got a different skin color than you. That is illegitimate. Don't have hate towards somebody who ain't never did nothing to you or your family. Nothing to you or your family. That is sick. Appreciate everybody tapping in, man. We got more shit coming, more videos, more everything, man. Y'all stay up. Know your laws. Be safe. All my young niggas out there, be safe. Older niggas, be safe. Ain't no age limit on this shit. It's all about preserving life, man. If you can do something to preserve a life, no matter what side of the gun you on, no matter what side of the law you on, man, do what you can do to preserve a life, because you only get that one back. You can't get that one back once it's gone. I guarantee you right now, These motherfuckers, especially him, the redhead one, that nigga was looking so sick in that courtroom. That nigga was looking so sick. I bet you they realized, like, damn, bro, was that shit worth it? Fuck no, that shit was not worth it. You know what these niggas got to do now? They got to go to prison and be Peckerwoods. They got to go to prison and join the Peckerwood gang or go PC. You know what the Peckerwoods is in prison? White gang or Aryan, AB, Aryan Brotherhood. They got to either go be Woods or Aryan Brotherhood. Especially with the fact y'all killed the black man. Ooh. Ooh. They have no choice now, though. You got to go wave that flag, nigga. Y'all killed a black man in cold blood, nigga. But they was going to do that anyways, to be clear with you. They cops. But then again, one of them cops or something, huh? What's good, Courtney Love? We about to tap out. I'll probably be back on later tonight, though. We working, man. It's 2021. We not playing. We grinding right now. For some reason, I always start the year off strong, man. Every year I started off strong. I work all through the year, but when the year first kick off, I be at it. I be active. I be outside. I've been hitting niggas for interviews already. But we got more shit coming. I've got a real deep conversation tonight. Real deep conversation tonight. We own it. Y'all come tap in. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, Urban Politicians TV, UPTV. Make sure you stay on your pivot at all times, man. Stay blessed.